Hey, thanks for joining the page, and welcome to the Northern Nerdcast, where we talk about everything in the world of nerd. If you like what you see, make sure that you like and hit that subscribe button. And again, we just wanted to thank you for your support. We are on Facebook at the Northern Nerdcast, as well as Discord as the Northern Nerdcast. So if you want to join those communities, just feel free, and thanks again. So I wasn't going to do another episode this week. I just felt we had touched a lot on what we wanted to talk about, and then we were going to do another TV show kind of thing this weekend, but unfortunately not everyone was available. Clayton, did you watch the Nintendo Direct yesterday?
I caught pieces of it. I saw, what was it that I saw? I saw the trailer for Splatoon 3, which is a series that I've kind of always wanted to check out because it seems like it would be a lot of fun. But it's funny because as I'm getting older, there are IPs that are going into their like third and fourth sequel, and I haven't even had a chance to check out the first one yet. And I'm like, man, where is the time going? But yeah, Splatoon 3, the Legend of Mana, I don't know, reskin, port, whatever you want to call it. What else did I check out? There was a couple that I caught. Oh, the Ninja Gaiden Sigma trilogy.
What's your thoughts on that? Because I know when I had mentioned it to you, you got really excited, and then I can't remember what you had said about that set of games.
Well, I was kind of hoping that it was the original trilogy, like the NES trilogy.
The Hard as Balls trilogy?
Yeah, well, the new one is hard as balls too. Like the first one is probably the hardest. It gets really, there's a whole rabbit hole there. The first version of the first one is the hardest. The second one is the next hardest. The third one is the third hardest, and then after that, the second. You go back and forth, but the first one is like rock balls hard because there are a couple of qualities of life that they didn't put into it, that they added with the Sigma series. But I was hoping for the original NES trilogy remastered because the only time we saw those games together was on Ninja Gaiden Trilogy for the SNES, and they had to make concessions because of cart size, and they also changed a couple of things due to American censorship. Yeah. So we never actually got a true trilogy that actually had the original version of the original 3 games in it, and I would like to have them all in one place. I mean, you could do emulators, but it's not the same, right? Like, I don't know. So, but I'm still excited because those games, like I have every known version of those original, those Xbox games, and they are a ton of fun, and they are hard in their own right, but the Sigma ones aren't quite as hard as the original.
Okay. And so I'm just going to read off my phone because there was a lot announced yesterday. So for the Smash Brothers fans, Pyra and Mithra from Xenoblade 2 is apparently the last of the DLC that's coming out.
That I saw.
That it looks pretty interesting. Fans were expecting some kind of major announcement in regards to Breath of the Wild 2, and all they got was, news planned for later this year. That's all that they had said. They didn't say anything else, but they are going to be re-releasing Skyward Sword.
Yeah, HD. That's right.
The trailer kind of looks the same as the original Wii version. I didn't really see any differences. It's one game I never played. I've never been a fan of the Zelda series. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I just couldn't get into it, and I tried Skyward. I shouldn't say I didn't play it. I tried it on the Wii, but I just running around swinging a Joy-Con pretending it's a sword just didn't really appeal to me, and I didn't.
Did you catch the fact that they made the motion controls are now optional?
Yeah, which is appealing to me because like my kids have the Switch lights, and obviously you can't disengage those controllers from it. Yeah. So I mean, I might end up grabbing it. I don't know. We'll see. Like you'd said, Splatoon 3 has been announced for 2022. The once Sony exclusive Fall Guys is being released on the Switch, coming out this summer.
Yeah.
A couple Famicom games that were never seen
Well, the
west.
Famicom detective games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Samurai Warriors 5, The Legend of Mana, which Legend of Mana and Saga Frontier, I have a feeling, are going to get a very limited release. So I'm not going to miss the boat like I missed out on, well, you can call it what you want, Wise 9, Ys. It's an action RPG, and I missed out on the PS4 one, and now it's a ridiculously high amount. I pre-ordered the Switch version, which I think is going to be much more produced.
It's funny actually, when I was watching the Legend of Mana reveal, it's amazing at how well those graphics hold up. I'm telling you, like, you missed it on the PS1. It just looks fuzzier, but the art that you saw yesterday is the same art that was in the original game. Like, all they did is clean up the resolution. The game was absolutely beautiful, and it was a blast to play. Like, and it's a completely unique experience. Like, I can't actually believe that it's taken them this long to come out with a port for it, because this is the type of game that is perfectly suited to the Switch.
Nice.
I can't wait for a whole new generation of people to play this game. It was great.
It's Saga Frontier looks like it held up pretty well too. It's the first one, not the second one. I like the first one for some reason. I couldn't get into the second one, and I mean that's part of the whole Saga series, romancing and all those games. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to that. Also announced, and this game hasn't been seen since GameCube, but Mario Golf.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I was watching actually I was watching two people reviewing the footage of the direct, and they were talking about the speed golf game mode, where you actually, like, after you hit the ball, you need to get to your ball as fast as possible.
Oh, nice.
To navigate the course. That they didn't actually announce anything about like multiplayer mini golf, but they leaned pretty heavily on this mode, and I'm interested to see that, because that sounds like like battle golf, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, like, Nintendo really is into their sport games, obviously. Like with where Mario and Sonic are titular characters, but it seems like they've put a lot of time and thought into this game. That, like, the last couple of Mario games, this like the tennis game that came out, and the 3-on-3 hoops, like the gameplay mechanics were just brutal, and the Mario tennis game was so bare bones that it was just, you might as well have gone out to get Top Spin 4 or something. Like, it was like, again, we talk about last week, Adam, Svenny McGee said, you could have just called it the Super Steve Brothers. Like, you could have taken any Mario character and put it in a generic tennis game and called it tennis.
Yeah.
And it still sold because it was Mario Tennis, but it didn't have the charm that Nintendo's known for. Like, even Super Strikers, like the baseball game for the Wii, like that was fun, but it got very repetitive and very easy. Also, Tales from the Borderlands has been announced, which I believe is Telltale Games, like episodic, your choices have consequences kind of game.
Well, it's the last game. I think that's the last game that they made before they folded, eh?
Yeah,
like,
I think so.
Gone, and that was like their swan song. But that, I was not a fan of Borderlands, but that game is a cut above for me.
Speaking of Borderlands, you know that they're making a movie, eh?
Really? That would be cool.
Jack Black is voicing Claptrap.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I saw that.
And Kevin Hart's in it. I don't know who he's gonna play, but like, the only person missing from this movie now is The Rock, because they always seem, the three of them, to get together for these kind of movies.
Yeah, but Borderlands is really like kind of a funny thing, because I could never I could never quite get into the game. I don't know why. I know it's a looter, like it's a looter shooter, you know,
That's what
like
it is.
RPG light. For some reason, I just could never quite get into it as a game. But it's funny because all of the expanded media and everything that surrounds it, I like. I like the art style. I like the idea. You know, I will probably like the movie if they do a good job. I like the Telltale Games version where it's more about the story, but the actual nuts and bolts of that IP is the RPG light mechanics, and I just could never get into it.
I don't know if you had talked about this game before, but Stubs the Zombie is coming to the Switch next month. It does. I don't know if it's a port or a sequel. It doesn't. It was a 28-second trailer. I didn't end up watching. I never played it, so I don't really know anything about it.
I'll have to go back and catch that one.
No More Heroes 3 is coming out in August.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that one.
For those of you, what's that?
I saw the trailer for Neon White too, which I almost put that in the same category as No More Heroes, like just based on the trailer. I'm not familiar with that, if that's already an established game or.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, but it's like you're killing demons in heaven or something. I don't know. It looked like
it kind of sounds like a Daemon Ex Machina or what was that game that came out, the police game that came out on the Switch? It was like this third person action. I can't remember. Astral Chain, so that's what it was called.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was one of the ones that, like, I still don't have a Switch yet.
You're gonna have to get one now.
Well, my stepdaughter's got one, and I've got, like, I have a small collection of games that they're around here somewhere that are still sealed that I want to actually dig into, but I can never steal the thing away from her long enough. I need to wait till she gets bored of it. When she gets bored of it, I'm going to snipe it and I'm going to load it up with all the stuff I want to play. Because she's basically just playing like Mario Kart and I don't know. I don't even know what else she has on it. But
well, for those fans of Animal Crossing, the Super Mario, where'd you go?
Me, I'm right here.
Okay, my screen just went black, so this part will have to get edited. For those fans of Animal Crossing, Super Mario is going to be coming in form of Super Mario items. I watched the trailer with my daughter this morning, and 2 more weeks and it comes on February 25th, and it's going to be a free install, which obviously is going to appeal to a lot of kids. But where they catch you is you have to spend not real money, but in-game money that you earn to buy the actual items. So if you want a Mario costume, it's like 15,000 leafs. I don't even know what the currency is in this game. I just every time I like my daughter comes in the room, she's like, "Oh, Dad, I got this big oarfish and I got 10,000." I'm like, "Oh yeah, cool. Like, what are you talking about?"
10,000.
Another reason you got to get a Switch, I actually just downloaded the demo for it, and this is just a working title, but Project Triangle Strategy.
Oh yeah.
If they go through with this name and call it Project Triangle Strategy, I won't buy it. But it's a Square Enix 2D 2.5D game, tactical game similar to Octopath Traveler.
I was thinking about that actually, like last night when I was driving home after work after I had seen the trailer for it and everything, and I was like, man, that looks like a cool game. But what the fuck is with the name? Like,
it just says, because even in the demo it says working title. So yeah. Obviously, like I hope they don't call it that, because that would just be like, why?
Anything but that, yeah.
Also announced, and there's no other information on this at all. I don't even know if EA is doing it anymore, but Star Wars Hunters is going to be a multiplayer game set between Jedi and Force Awakens.
Yeah, I saw the teaser trailer for that. I'm not sure yet. Like, it was an extremely short trailer. You couldn't get much out of it, and I don't think that there was even any gameplay shown of it. But yeah, I mean, it's Star Wars, right? So they can tag on, as soon as they tag on that name, everybody is going to have eyes on it and be like, okay, well, what is this?
This is fun. Like, we're gonna have so much material for probably 2 shows, because like I think this could be its own episode right here. Because there's still more. But wait, there's more.
Oh, wait, there's more.
So you'd already mentioned Ninja Gaiden, which I mean I see. It's kind of like one of those things, but like Sega and Nintendo back in the day. You either very rarely did people have both systems, but you were either a Sega or you were a Super Nintendo. And I'm just referring to the fact that you either grew up playing Ninja Gaiden or you grew up playing Shinobi. And I went Shinobi. I never really played Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, I was a Sega kid too.
Shinobi, the last game that I think came out for Shinobi was on the PS2. And I don't think any game has come out since then. I just remember I was so impressed by the graphics on this game, like his red cape flowing behind him every time he ran around.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and Shinobi came out right around the same time as Ninja Gaiden did on the Xbox. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. So for the 2D games, though, the Game Gear actually did get a version of Ninja Gaiden, which was quite good, and it was hard, but mostly because the sprites were like half the size of the screen. They were friggin' massive. And then also the Master System, the Sega Master System, also got its own version of Shinobi, which is a totally different game than the Nintendo games, and it plays more like Shinobi 3 on the NES than Shinobi 1, or Ninja Gaiden 3 on the NES rather than Ninja Gaiden 1. I just actually watched like a review of it the other day, and I didn't even know it was there. I didn't know that Sega ever got the rights to Ninja Gaiden. So that was pretty cool. I'm going to have to try and hunt that down.
Also, a game called World's End Club. It looks like a cartoony game. I didn't really pay much attention to that. Hyrule Warriors is getting another expansion pass. Or getting a expansion pass, I guess that's the correct term. Bravely Default 2, which is going to be coming to the Switch, looks amazing. They released the final trailer. Saga Frontier we talked about. Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. That's another one I'm excited for because I remember the original Ghouls and Goblins.
Yeah, isn't that like just a remake of the original but with way better graphics? Like
yeah.
I thought that's what they were
doing. And it'll probably continue the trend of hard games because ghouls are Super Ghouls and Goblins or Super Ghosts and Ghouls. I can't remember which one it was, but that was hard. There's so many. Well, there's so many. There's ghouls. There's ghosts. It's just there's not so many. I guess 2. And then lastly, it says it's a developing story. It kind of stops on IGN, but Hades Physical Edition. So I'm guessing there was I don't even know anything about this game, but it sounds like it was just a digital game.
So I never got a chance to look into it, but apparently Hades was one of like the best games released last year.
Okay.
I didn't get a chance to look at it, but I believe that it was a digital only game. But apparently, like it was a big deal right up alongside what was the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like a lot of people, every time they were talking about like the top 5 or best of lists or whatever, it was always like Final Fantasy Remake, and then eventually somewhere in that list somebody would mention Hades, but I never got a chance to actually check it out, so I have no idea what it's about.
Well, it's something I'll check out footage and see if it's something I'd be interested in. I have so many games on the go. It's unbelievable. Like I'm still playing it. I'm doing a second run now with a new character on Cyberpunk, and now that I know what I'm doing, it's a lot easier.
Oh, did you finish it?
I got I just wanted to play the game and get an ending, and dude, I'll tell you right here, and I'm not afraid to admit it, but the ending that I got, I legit cried. Like I haven't cried on a game since Aeris died in the original Final Fantasy VII. Like it's not, and it was 2 totally different. Like I'm not going to get into what happens because obviously there's multiple endings, but Cyberpunk, like this ending is a huge let's talk kind of thing. Like And it's just you build up a relationship with some of the characters, and the reaction of one of the characters was so gut wrenching that like I mean not like a full blown like meltdown for me. I was just like I got teary eyed and like I was heavy huffing like it was
Oh,
just it was crazy. And um so I'm playing again. I've kept the save file from the original game, like the original one that I had done, because they're supposed to be releasing a patch to fix one of the issues to romance one of the characters to get the best ending. And I saved right before the final part. So what I've been doing is like I created a new story with female V because I wanted to like there's there's so much gameplay mechanics. You can make your character trans. That's
yeah.
it's like saying small people but the M word. Um, you can make your character trans, but so there's a character in it who is gay, and that's another ending that you can get as long as you follow the gay path per se.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this one ending just wrecked me. And like, if you're gonna play it, expect bugs. I'm not taking my -1 review off. It is a lot better than a -1.
I was
Um,
gonna say.
I'd probably now give it around a 7 until they fixed everything. Mind you, I played Skyrim last week and there are still bugs.
Oh my
So,
god, yeah. Oh,
but no, like I highly recommend like playing it. Even highly recommend it. And it gets a 7.
yeah.
But no, it's yeah, it was just like getting back to like I said before, my wallet's going to be so light with all these announcements that Nintendo did, and a lot of like Mana and Saga Frontier are not just going to be on Switch, they're going to be on PS4. So it's like the collector in me is like, ah, I'm gonna have to get one for both now.
Well, that's cool that it's going to be that Legend of Mana is going to be on PS4 because I mean, I don't know what Square is going to charge for it.
Probably
But
full price because it's Square.
yeah, and that sucks. But but it was still that game is meaty. There's multiple endings. There is a bunch of different ways to play just due to the nature of how you actually lay out the world map because you build the world map with these items called artifacts, and you can place these artifacts anywhere on this grid, but depending on where you put them on the grid, different like earth spirits have more or less power. Like there's an optimal path, I'm sure, through the game, but man, I played like I don't even I could try to go back to my old like PS1 memory card and see if I could dig up the save file and see how much time I actually spent on the game, but I got to be around 100 hours.
Oh,
Like
wow.
I remember spending a lot of time with that game, and there was stuff that I never saw. I know I never saw it because there was stuff that I saw just even in the trailer, in the reveal that I hadn't seen before. I hadn't seen the ship scene where they're standing on the bow of the ship. If you go back and watch the direct, you can see it. I don't ever remember getting that scene. I remember a bunch of the other ones. The only thing that I wish that they would do is that if I know that at certain points they showed the earth spirits talking, like there's the tree and then there is the mountain and you see the face in them and they're talking, and the animation for them talking is, there's no other way to describe it. It's just gorgeous, but there's no voices to it because they didn't translate it, I guess, from Japanese, or they didn't add American voiceovers.
Okay.
So it's subtitles and you can see the thing talking, but I would like them to add voices. They probably won't, but whatever. You're going to want to play it though, as the short.
Well, my buddy had it. I watched him play it, and it's just at the time it never really. I was like, like when it came out, there were so many other games, and it's just like now. It's like, well, what do I play? Like, it's first world problems, and it's like I've got nothing to play, even though I've got an entire shelf behind me of stuff to play.
Well, you got to remember though that game came out roughly around the same time as Final Fantasy VII.
Yes, Final Fantasy VII, Wild Arms, like all these other games.
A lot of people overlooked it. You know what I mean? Like, because I never hear it brought up in conversations anywhere. So when I saw that they were bringing it back yesterday, I was like really pleasantly surprised, because it's a really good game and more people should play it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing to stop them from playing it now. Okay.
Another game announced, and it sounds like it could be like an insane party game, and I can see fist fights happening, kind of like how Monopoly usually ends at my house. Knockout City has been announced, which is a dodgeball multiplayer game. And I'm going to click the link and see if there's anything about it that's, I mean...
Yeah, because like what I got from the trailer there, like it's all of these like disparate characters. So I imagine that it's like sort of like Fortnite, in that you have characters from seemingly different backgrounds, you know, like there's goofy cartoon characters and then there's like serious dark characters and stuff.
It says, so right off the bat, it says, you know that part in The Legend of Zelda where Ganon and Link bounce a ball of lightning back and forth until someone dies? Knockout City, the upcoming dodgeball multiplayer game, is exactly like that, but it's dialed up to 11 and played on repeat.
Yeah, so I imagine that it's like Fortnite meets Rocket League. It's like an extreme form of sports, right? But all of these disparate characters, because there's the one like guy who looks like he's from like Raid Shadow Legends, talking about being the ball, and then there's a dude from like who looks like he's from like CS:GO or Call of Duty Warzone. You know, he's like, I don't want to shoot bullets, I want to use my hands. And then there's what else was there? There was a little girl who was like an animated Nintendo type Zelda type princess, you know, and they're all playing on this same they're all playing on the same field. So I instantly like imagined elements of like Overwatch, Rocket League, Fortnite drawn together.
Well, it says like what one of the headlining things says, by curling into a ball and rolling into the arms of a fellow player, I could turn myself into human ammunition.
Yeah.
Things can get hectic in the best possible way, and working as a team is utterly necessary. The situation would occasionally arise where there were no nearby balls to allow out my enemy, so then it turned into a ball and became human ammunition. It sounds like it's going to be one of those games that people they're going to make leagues out of, kind of like Fortnite and stuff. Like I can honestly see that happening. So I
can see a lot of Overwatch players moving over to this. Maybe Fortnite, except for the fact that Fortnite, like, and I'm probably going to get lambasted for this, but Fortnite is played by a lot of kids, and
I agree.
And I don't know how well they can play as teammates, because I hear the kids playing Fortnite downstairs, and they're basically just yelling at each other to do this or do that, you know? Like if you get somebody into league play, especially if they get into like ranked play or ranked league play, I see a lot of people, like you said, people forming leagues, and I see this becoming an extreme sport in the same way that like Smash Bros is, you know, like an esport.
Yeah, and it says that you can also get your chance to try it first on PC's closed beta starting on the weekend from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Yeah.
So they're probably, what they're doing is they're scouting for their leagues already. They're going to see who's who of playing this game.
Yeah, I have a feeling that anybody who, well, it's funny actually. It's funny that came out on the Nintendo Direct, because especially if it's already on PC, or the demo is going to be on PC, it won't be like the Switch players already have their competitive multiplayer game, right? Like they have Smash.
Mm-hmm.
I see that once this moves over to other consoles, especially PC or PS5, that's where I see this thing really taking off. So I don't know. Maybe in a year, maybe in a year or two, I'll be cursing this game the same way that I'm cursing Fortnite right now. But it does sound fun. Like the idea sounds really good.
I'm so glad my kids are too young for Fortnite. For me, it's Roblox. It's like, oh, that's all I hear.
No, I have one who's into Roblox, and her cousins are also into Roblox, and it's that when they visit, it's the three of them sitting around on tablets, and I just hear those same sound effects over and over and over again.
They're playing this shark game, and whenever the shark, it's kind of like, I watched them play it. It kind of reminds me of Jaws on the NES, where you're trying to ram into a shark with your boat, and you just, once the shark gets closer, it's just like this intense, not Jaws theme because they'll get sued, but it's like, the shark's coming, and then all of a sudden you'll just hear screams from the kids.
Yeah, most of what I hear is, where are you guys?
Yeah.
Where are you guys? Where are you guys? Where are you guys? where? Oh, there you are. Where are you guys?
Can you warp to me? Come to my house. Warp over here. No, you're not doing it right.
Oh my God, you're wearing that? Oh, where did you get that? Where are you guys?
You probably do that in Warframe. You're talking to all your friends. Where are you guys?
No,
where are you?
I don't play with anybody in Warframe. I'm at the top of the food chain now. I just go around, like basically, what do you call that? Sherpaing, carrying lower people through, and I don't talk to anybody. And if I look in my squad and I see that microphone symbol pop up and people are talking, I just shut it off. I mute them. No, I don't need that. Sounds like a dick move, but man, I've just heard too many people nose breathing and too many kids screaming in the background and doing like, I'm good. Don't worry. I know how to get us through this.
There's so much to talk about with this.
Yeah.
And apparently there's still more announcements coming. So
Nintendo this year is actually going to have the strongest showing because, I mean, realistically, we're in COVID times right now. Sony and Microsoft are both struggling to find their footing with regards to their next generation. They don't have anything on offer so far for me that really says go out and buy the new console. I'm still playing my current console, and it seems like they don't really have anything on tap because I don't know, maybe they were hoping that the uptake on the new consoles was going to be a bit stronger, but we got lukewarm games like Godfall and ports of games that we were already playing, like Cyberpunk. It doesn't matter what console you're playing it on, it's going to be buggy as hell. So a lot of people are like, well, I'm not buying a new console for that. But Nintendo has not announced a new console yet, and they're still the Switch is enjoying massive popularity in Japan and basically everywhere. And they're doing a lot to support it, and they're coming out with some really good games. I would like to see more sequels to the IPs that they're bringing out. Like it's sort of a bit of a shame that with all of this power behind them that they're only bringing out sequels to, or not sequels, rehashes of old games like Skyward Sword and Legend of Mana. But at the same time, those games, a lot of them were seriously overlooked in the past, and maybe with a new level of polish, players will get a chance to experience them. And
and that's exactly right.
I'm being honest, like Legend of Mana looks like it could be a current game. You know what I mean? Like with games like Octopath Traveler and stuff coming out, I'm telling you, man, that game looked really, really good, and it plays really good too. There's lots of stuff to see and do, and it'll be worth the money when they eventually release it. So
yeah, absolutely.
And then some of the like the new esports stuff, like the final addition to the Smash roster, and this new like Knockout Kings, and then Fall Guys. Like they have shown that not only are they supporting older single player content, but they also want to fill out newer online competitive stuff. So they're really, it's Nintendo's year, it seems like.
Yeah, it seems like it, like, because I haven't really heard anything lately about Horizon Zero Dawn, the sequel.
Well, they're still too far away, you know,
Yeah.
like, and the hubbub about Sony and Microsoft's new like launch games for their next gen systems was really short lived. Like, it was a bad year for them to bring out those consoles. They should have, like, in my opinion, they should have waited. They should have just waited. But I think that one of them probably pulled the trigger, and the other one was like, well, now they've forced our hand, right? Like, now we have to kind of just go along with it and do it, because they don't want to let the other company have the market share with the next generation console. It's not like in the old days, you know.
Yeah, and I getting back to Nintendo porting over stuff. I think the thing with Skyward Sword too is it came out at the very end of the Wii's life cycle. Yeah. That's just like see, and that's what Nintendo should have done. And I mean, again, people could be like, well, you don't work for Nintendo, what do you know? But what they should have done with that was what they did with Breath of the Wild. It came out at the very end of the Wii U's life cycle, but they also put it on the Switch. I think that Skyward Sword would have gotten probably more people into it if the Wii had done the same thing and used it as a launch title for the Wii U.
Yeah, that's true, but there's also the factor of the motion control, like strictly motion controls for it.
But you can use the Wii U controllers on the Wii U, or the Wii controllers on the Wii U.
No. I mean, there was no option for non-motion controls on the original version, was there? I thought there wasn't. I thought you had to use the swing.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying is, like, the Wii is backwards compatible, or the Wii U is backwards compatible with the Wii. My kids play Just Dance 2020 on the Wii U using the Joy-Con, the nunchucks.
Yeah, but my point is that when they originally released Skyward
Sword, I don't believe so.
There was no option for non-motion control. Yeah. And there's two camps of people, right? Like, there are people who love motion controls in the Wii games, and then there are people who just give me the controller and I'll just play the game. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that having the second option now, which they were basically forced to do because so many people have a Switch Lite and the Joy-Cons don't separate. You don't have that option for motion control. But it'll be nice because maybe you'll see a bunch of people who were originally turned off by the fact that it was only motion control now will jump onto it and see that it's a good game. Yeah. I never finished it. I'm a fan of the Zelda series too, but I never finished Skyward Sword. But it's it's like the origin of the Zelda mythos, eh? It's where they forged the Master Sword and everything. Like, it's a history lesson for the Zelda games. Mm-hmm. So I should technically go back through it. So when the kid stops playing the Switch, I will steal it. And I'll probably buy Skyward Sword and end up playing it and play it all the way through.
And then you got to actually play Octopath Traveler.
Yes, it's sitting right there. It's waiting. It's just waiting.
Do you have the Wayfarer edition or just the standard?
I think I just bought the standard edition.
It's not the big box.
No, it's just the regular Switch box.
Oh.
Holy man. Wow.
And then there's like I'm gonna turn off that light. Just a quick sec. But there's like this stage that you can set up your 2.5D characters. There's a soundtrack. It's just I think it's a real cool piece. And EB, they didn't have any of the original, like the actual games. All they had left was the collector's edition. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'll pre-order the collector's edition.
Yeah.
And it's actually spiked in value.
Yeah, Nintendo Direct was a good thing to talk about. I feel like
it was kind of last minute. Where I just, like I said, just going through it, and it's like, oh yeah, and then all of a sudden it's 9:30.
Yeah.
So you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Just like last night, I died when I sent you that message, just in the list of games, and then you responded, and I hit play, and when you're like, what the fuck? Like, you touched your penis, and my kids are like, oh, who said that? And I could not stop laughing.
Well, I was like, what the fuck? Like, what? Like, did that get past the Nintendo standards board? Like, how did they slide that one under the door? Like,
it's gonna be the new VR.
Yeah, you touched your penis. At least it's not you touched somebody else's penis.
That's the DLC.
That's the sequel.
So I think we'll end there. Again, Mike wanted to be here, but we ran out of time, and we'll get him on the next one.
Yeah, for sure.